All right, now we're getting into the Rutger McGroarty portion of the podcast, part 2, as this first question comes from MS. What pick would make you consider swapping for Rutger McGroarty, i.e. 5th overall onwards, later? Curious where he would slot in versus this draft class for you. So that is a great question, and the fact of the matter is, I said at the top, I think that if the Jets do trade McGroarty, it is unlikely they would get anything in that top 15 to get to move into him. I just don't think. Yes, he's closer to NHL ready. Yes, he's a bit more of a known commodity, but he is still a player that's below average skating. Was injured this season, and while he had a substantial uptick in production, there's certainly going to still be questions about his overall translatability. I love the player. I think he's going to be an NHLer. I think he could potentially wear a letter at some point in the NHL. I think that matters, but the question is will other teams believe that? And that's what the Jets are going to have to try to find out. I think it's more likely that we see him, if he's going to be moved, it's going to be anywhere from 15 to 25 in terms of those prospects. Like, if you're the Boston Bruins, you just got the 25th overall pick. Rutger McGroarty might fit what you're building more than what that 25th overall pick will do for you. Will that be enough for the Jets to move the pick? I don't know. Probably not. But at the same time, I think if I'm the Jets, I got to hold out and get as much value as I possibly can. Maybe it's a prospect for prospect swap. Maybe it is a draft pick. Maybe it's a collection of draft picks. But either way, I don't think, if I'm a Jets fan, I don't anticipate them getting fair value versus, a 14th overall pick. The top 14 of this draft is highly regarded, and I don't think that Rutger would have necessarily fit into it if he were in this draft class. So that's what you have to consider there. All right. Also, a little bit more for McGroarty. Avco Cup, which of the top 20 prospects in this year's draft do you think would be a fair trade for teams in exchange for Rutger McGroarty? So as I look at that, I think about the guys that will be available in that 15 to 20 range and the different players that, you could potentially see in that range. And, I think you look at those guys like Michael Hage, Sasha Boisvert, Jet Luchenko, players like that. I think that there is a chance that you can make those picks, and that would be, a fair trade for that player. I think beyond those guys, you're hoping that you get some good value out of it. But I think in that 15 to 20 range, there's going to be some guys that really do fit in that mix. I think Igor Chernyshov, a number of players like that. I like Rutger McGroarty a lot, but I just think it's very tough for a team to get good value in the situation that they're in.